Bullshit Podcast.
Later, articulators, new behavior. Talk about the shit, then research later.
Postgrad plus dumb ass equals podcast. Serious Bullshit Podcast.
Later, articulators, new behavior. Talk about the shit, then research later.
Postgrad plus dumb ass equals podcast. Serious Bullshit Podcast.
Later, articulators, new behavior. Talk about the shit, then research later.
Postgrad plus dumb ass equals podcast.
What's up? All right, guys. Let me go ahead and let me switch over here so we can see us too. Fucking, this is episode 9, Serious Bullshit. This is a special one. Sterling's got a presentation for everybody here. He's gonna really, the first couple episodes, we kind of squenched the topic of Ethereum and Bitcoin a little bit, according to Sters, right? Go ahead and speak about it real quick.
We definitely fucked up. Go back and listen. Start here.
Yeah, so this episode is basically he's gonna go over that. We're gonna talk about it and just heckle him, give him a hard time. But yeah,
be serious listeners and observe well.
Oh, the bullshit listeners is what I'm appealing to. Okay. Anyways, go to basescripters.com/serious bullshit for all the other stuff, all the other podcasts that we've done, and basescripters.com for Basescripters podcast. Fucking patreon.com/basescripters to support the fellas. $1 a month is all we ask info. All right, so I'm gonna switch it over here, Sterling, to the full screen for you to do your thing, and yeah, I'll just let you fucking roll this shit off.
Right, so this is a presentation I gave a couple hours ago to a finance class, basically typing in basically in there's a bunch of typing in here.
Typing.
Sam was opening the door.
Sam's opening the door, yeah. Ain't nobody type. I got a silent keyboard, bitch.
Okay, background. This presentation was given to a finance class where we just talk about topics that are of interest to us that relate to finance or we forced to relate to. What I wanted to cover was Ethereum and the blockchain. Tale as old as time.
Oh, dude, are you about to narrate?
Are you really like he's going deep with this, dude? Make sure you close up on that mic because it's clipping in and out a little bit when you start talking. So make sure you're getting in on it
from the mic.
Or or just get a little bit closer to it maybe or something. I'm not sure.
It's from the headphones, so
yeah, we're gonna try and not ruin this for Sterling. But apparently he's coming in fucking. Whoa, how's your mumble blue?
Why the fuck you got a blue mumble,
Hey,
man?
bro.
talking to me.
How you get that blue mumble?
Talking
dude?
to the
My mumble's all
motherfucker with
white.
the blue mumble.
That's how it came.
My mumble's all white, dude.
All right, so I'm gonna steer this back. Okay, so Ethereum.
You're coming in perfect.
Basically, what I want to do now is do what my finance teacher called street finance. We're gonna go straight to the streets, and what I'm doing is I'm pulling up a site called CoinMarketCap.com, and what this shows is the different cryptocurrencies, currencies, and assets that are listed by their market cap. It ranks them, and so what it's showing at the top is that the current market cap of the entire cryptocurrency space is $158 billion. So in the last 24 hours, $6 billion of cryptocurrencies has been traded. So if you look at the number one...
Where's that number at?
Yeah, where the market cap says 774 billion.
Here at the top. So this is the total, is up here at the top.
Oh, I see it. Market cap. Yeah, I see it.
Market cap
Way up.
right
No,
there.
way up above the banner ads.
Oh,
Here, I'll
okay.
circle it for the.
No, I see it.
Yeah.
So that's the total space.
Yeah, he's circling it for us. Perfect.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
then on CoinMarketCap.com, it's a really common place to look at these, just figure out what's going on. Number one is Bitcoin, and it has $74.7 billion of market cap. And so the market cap is calculated by multiplying the current price by how many there are. So if there were, a Bitcoin was going for $100 and there was 10 of them, the market cap would be 10,000.
Okay, wait. Repeat that again, dude. Repeat that one more time.
It's going to be price multiplied by the total number there are.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
So-
sense. Just how many there are in existence.
Or, yeah, multiplied by the price that each one trades at, and that's how you calculate the market cap.
Okay.
So by number one, you have Bitcoin at $4.7 billion. But at number 2 is this thing called Ethereum at $30.5 billion. And I've talked about this a number of times, so I want to go into today what Ethereum exactly is, why it has such a large market cap, and what's going on in this space. So before I talk about Ethereum itself, I wanted to talk about blockchain technology. So if you can see my screen right now, there is a series of blocks, cubes, and they're all connected with a rod between them. And each of these blocks or cubes is made up of sort of gears, and they kind of have some numbers, and it looks like there's some complicated stuff going on in these blocks. You can imagine a blockchain as a series of blocks with a link in between. So what the blockchain actually is a database or a ledger. And so the easiest way to think about this ledger is something that a bank would keep, right? Like the ledger that the bank keeps says, I have deposited $100. So you can pull out $5 or you can put in 10 more dollars. And every time you make a transaction, the ledger gets updated.
Yeah.
And so each one of those, we can think of them for the purposes of example, we can think of each one of those transactions as one of these blocks in the chain. So every time you make a new block or a new transaction, you're getting a new block in the chain. And so what you can see from what this illustrates by the links between the blocks is if you took out a previous block, it would break all the blocks that came after it. What this gets at is the immutability of the blockchain. Basically, once it's in the ledger, you can't change it. To change the ledger, it's immutable. So basically,
do you have a question, Justin? Go ahead.
Try to change something old, it breaks all the chains after it.
So then you would have evidence that you did that. Is what you're saying?
But you would know that something was like the blockchain.
Something was manipulated.
Broken. Exactly, it's been manipulated. And so that allows for the trust between parties and takes out the need for the third-party bank to say, oh, we had your money, this sort of thing. So you can just trade it amongst yourselves and takes out the need for a bank as a whole.
So it's kind of like if they had like a ledger, but the ledger was like this gigantic, monstrous, like mountain-sized book that everyone could come see from any time. And it's just like we all see this book. We all know the deal here. Everybody sees the ledger and what's going on. So it's like everybody has access to this thing. And so we can all kind of be accountable for it together.
Yeah, I think it's a couple gigabytes right now. So I don't want to call it like this huge thing, but...
no, I mean, like if it was a physical thing, like if you the physical ledger, like I'm just saying, like it would be something undeniable. Anybody could go and just see this gigantic thing.
I mean, plus
Like
a couple gigabytes
tweakers.
could.
Yeah, like Everett Tweakers.
A couple gigabytes could still be massive. I mean, you could fit in the entirety of Wikipedia on a thumb drive.
That's true. On a 24 gigabyte thumb drive. I'm just kidding. On a 1 terabyte thumb drive, they make them now. They didn't come out with that statement until they made terabyte thumb drives. No, it's just text. So yeah, you could probably it would take a lot of information of just Bitcoin info, I would think. That's probably a lot. Even just 3 gigs.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but there's more efficient blockchains since Bitcoin. And I wanted to get in next a little bit of like the timeline of how this came about. So this was first introduced by a couple of professors in 1991, was the first introduction of blockchain as an idea. It wasn't made into anything practical until 2008. And I had heard that this was that Bitcoin was proposed by Satoshi Nakamoto. That's true in 2008. But I'd heard it's somewhat of a response to the housing collapse at that time. So there was basically bankers are not using our money wisely, so we're taking the bankers out of the equation using this technology, blockchain.
Okay, hang on.
Wait, so real quick, what was the Stuart Haber and Scott Stornetta? What was their intentions for inventing it then? Was it just like a purely theoretical deal, or like did they even have like this sort of application when they invented it?
Had any application in mind? They were showing the possibility, I think the encryption technology more than basically just proof of that things could depend on previous encryptions.
What do you mean? Like,
it's like they were trying to show.
Linked.
Okay, they like the first concept of like creating
concepts,
of like a paper trail kind of.
But I can't say that for sure.
Yeah, they were trying
do too much research on them.
So but could you say that their more purpose for inventing it was like to show, like you said, the proof of concept for like a ledger of sort, like you were talking
Yeah,
about.
like a digital ledger.
Public access
or
ledger.
I don't think it was a ledger. I think it was more like academic. This can be done. It's just like you can encrypt stuff that depends on previous stuff.
Oh, okay. You can. Okay, got you. So it was like they had none of this shit even remotely in mind. They were just like, oh, you can do
It had
this.
like no economic intention.
Yeah, I think it's a pure cutting edge cryptographic research.
Okay, yeah, it was probably like a different field entirely. Got you. Okay, there we go.
Some sort of computer.
We're satisfied. We're satisfied.
So then that
I had to check, make sure your lore was right.
We wanted to check the lore.
In 2008, it's actually a collective, a group that went under the name Satoshi Nakamoto, and there's a bunch of weird lore about that, but I don't get into it too much. Anyways, they invented.
Is that dude? Are they? Wait, is that the Illuminati, bro?
Probably
The Japanese.
Look into it. Look into
it. They're trying to cut themselves out of the equation. So, and then they implemented it the following year in 2009. Then in 2014, blockchain 2.0 was the idea was put out there, and blockchain 2.0 is a programming language that allows the user to write smart contracts. And I'm going to cover that later, what they are, as we get into Ethereum, but I just want to bring that up.
More sophisticated smart contract sounds like some shit in Westworld, dude. What is that even? What is that, dude?
I'll cover it. I'll cover it later because it's not.
Okay.
So I just want to put out that's an idea.
You better. That better not be a way to like sway somebody. I'll get to that later. Then I forget about it halfway through, and then you never actually get back to it.
That seems like some Darth Vader. I pray I don't alter the deal more shit.
There's some There's some Q&A we'll follow up. And then in 2017, just this year, Harvard Business Review suggested that blockchain is a foundational technology that has the potential to create new foundations for our economic and social systems. Essentially saying that this is a huge technology.
Eventually, everybody should be using this, even the government, right? Like, is that what you're saying? Like switching over to that kind of
economic and social systems. It's going to change. So, before I get onto Ethereum, you got to talk about Bitcoin. I just wanted to cover real quick.
Dude, wait, really quick though. Do you think that they would ever get to a point where they would actually have like Minecraft, but you would just go really mining for Bitcoins? And like they had all these people in VR just out there mining Bitcoins. It's like the gold rush, and like everybody got in. Like somebody made a game where you could fucking physically mine them, and they were all out there just fucking hammering away at shit, dude.
That'd be useful.
That'd be sick.
The
man.
mining aspect of it is what I can't like grasp my head around.
Me neither. He'll get to that, I'm sure. He better.
Now. That's what the slide is all about.
Let's do it. The slide. Let's go.
So this is a quote from Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper when they proposed this in that 2008. And they said, we have proposed a system for electronic transactions without relying on trust. And that gets into the encryption and the immutability of the ledger. And so essentially the way the ecosystem of Bitcoin works is that miners maintain the ledger by providing hash power. And so what that is anything that gets entered into these blocks sets off some sort of, let's call it a chain of letters and numbers. There's a mathematical problem that you have to solve to match that letter and number. And that can be done by any miner. So the reason they do this is because then every time they make a block, they get paid in Bitcoins. That's why there was, back on the circulation page of Bitcoin, there was 16,549,000. These are constantly being mined as people solve these cryptographic puzzles that maintain the ledger. And these miners also get a small fee for transactions within the Bitcoin. So that's their incentive to solve these cryptographic puzzles.
But where does the who's paying out then? That's just being created out of thin air?
It's a code, right? It's a code that says when you solve a block, you get paid this much for solving it.
What does that mean, though? Like when you solve the block, like what are you actually doing?
It's like a mathematical equation that you're literally just like, I guess, solving the problem. Like if you switch these numbers around and you do this algebra or something, I guess, then you fucking end up with that particular strand of letters and numbers.
That's one way to think of it. I can't go too deep into it because I didn't. My focus was not to discuss too much of the technical aspects of the block, or to focus on the ecosystem, how it's sustainable, why the miners are doing what they do, and just simply say that there is a string of letters and numbers that is created for every input, and then there is a mathematical problem that can be simulated by anyone with the Bitcoin software.
Yeah, okay. But listen, here's the thing that I just need to get past that I can't get past to even go any further almost is it's like how, all right, somebody creates the mathematical problem. Who does that? Who's making the problems for people, and then where's the money coming from? Like they're just all right. So like they just make a problem, and then that problem creates one Bitcoin or creates however much they put out.
Or hey, I would assume that like the problems are based on transactions using the Bitcoins that were already in existence.
Right, that's the input. Right.
Yes. Okay. So where did the first amount of Bitcoins come from then? Like who said there's 100 Bitcoins and like what they just put them into the thing and said this is it?
They had to mine them. So it started with someone started a miner, right?
This is some Matrix shit, dude.
I don't know, it happens all the time that people release. There is a such thing as pre-mine, and I'm not sure if Bitcoin was pre-mined or not. But
is there any way to like physically make it a metaphor for? Like, what's the best metaphor for explaining Bitcoin? Like, to put it into terms for like layman's terms, man, because it's just as anybody who just doesn't work with it enough, dude, it's just so hard to grasp. Like, yeah, they just create some problems and then people solve them and then they have money and then it's worth stuff now because everybody thinks it's worth something.
There's a code that says if you solve a block, you get paid Bitcoin. And it also says that you get paid for every transaction that you track on that block. So that's the incentive for people solving the block. I think you're getting caught up in the cryptography too much.
I'm just thinking like,
you're not going to be able to understand the cryptography.
Like, what if it like, would it be like if I had diamonds and I was willing to trade in diamonds and you're like, yeah, I'll trade in diamonds with you because diamonds have value to everybody still, and so it's just like instead of using cash to buy, like say I had a actual piece of gold or something, and I wanted to trade that for somebody's PlayStation 4 and on Craigslist, and they're like, yeah, I actually will take the gold rather than cash. Is it kind of the same as that then? Like as far as like, no, because you're still just pulling that out of the ground, right? I mean, you're just pulling it out of. It doesn't have any value inherently, so.
Does it rely on?
It's like a thought. It's like thought gold, dude.
But it relies on real transactions, though, right? That's where the equations are coming from. Like the equations are based upon real transactions.
Yeah, but it's like we're just agreeing that this thing exists in this fucking computer, dude, and that it's worth something. Just like if I went and dug some gold out of the ground, it's worth something, right?
I see somewhat what you guys were getting at. So I guess in the beginning, maybe the first block had no transactions on it, but when they mined that block, they then got coins that they could.
But like the coins, like what?
Blocks.
The coins just manifest out of the block, I guess, right? The coins are just a thing.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just kind of like how with our paper money now, everyone just kind of like agrees that it has meaning.
And also, is there infinite coins? Is a question I have.
Oh, right here. There's a max of 21 million.
Oh, so they were like reaching toward the max, and somebody just decided that was a good idea for that number, or what? They just did the math or something.
Well, essentially, what's great about putting a max on it is it makes the currency neither inflationary or deflationary. So right now, every time they print more money at the money printing press, our dollars are now worth less money every time.
Okay. So they want to keep it. They want to keep it at a certain value. Then, is what you're saying?
Right, but you don't want to just flood the market with 21 million all at one time. So, and it also got an incentive to get people involved in the space to mine these blocks as they become valuable, right? So they get involved in the space, and you now have these people maintaining your ledger.
That's an interesting concept, though. Like, there's a certain amount of this currency that's just enough for everybody. We can all work with this. Like, I don't know. It's just interesting. I don't know, it's crazy. Go ahead and continue with your shit, man.
It's one of the big appeals. So
sorry,
yeah, some of these things are gonna come a little more clear, like as I continue. So now I'm gonna talk about what is Ethereum, and I have a quote that I'm gonna surmise from the co-creator of Ethereum, and his name is Dr. Gavin Wood. So he said that Bitcoin is a currency, and that is one application of the blockchain. But just as email is one particular application of the internet, it is not the only application of the internet.
Okay.
So here's what Ethereum aims to do. They want to use decentralized networks to And what is a decentralized network? The easiest way to think of it is something like the Pirate Bay or your favorite torrenting site, where you go to get your totally legal Game of Thrones latest episode, and 100 people are all hosting the same file. Get that file really quick from a ton of different people that are all hosting it. So that's a decentralized network.
Did you get a good reaction out of that Game of Thrones joke from the boss?
I did.
it hit home too hard for me, bro. I was like, yeah, I know, bro. I downloaded that shit like a week early one time, bro. Go ahead. Okay.
And so then they want to build these decentralized networks on the blockchain, which cuts out the middleman. It allows peer-to-peer transactions.
Gotcha.
And here's their vision laid out from their this info pamphlet. It says their vision is to decentralize the internet by creating a platform where applications can be built and run on a decentralized network. So their whole goal is to decentralize the internet using their platform.
God damn. So they're like, we want to overthrow the fucking world? What the fuck?
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting concept, especially since, especially in Europe, you see pretty much the exact opposite, where it's all the internet and all that is now just trying to be government censored. And a lot of places like Britain right now, like their prime minister in Germany, they're all pushing for like heavy internet censorship.
Oh shit! Definitely, China does it hardcore.
And this seems like the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's like internet freedom for real. What's the American shit, dude? Is this guy American or was he? Where's he from?
Oh, he's actually Russian, raised in Canada.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If he came from Russia, he's probably had like the incentive to be like, I don't know, man, fucking.
You value freedom more.
Yeah, you value freedom a little more.
And you're in Canada, so like you get to
Everybody's
have
so
the
nice.
freedom of America, but without like the obligation and responsibility to protect the world of America.
Exactly, and you're just nicer, so you want to do better things for humanity. You're just like, I think I'd rather just fucking help humanity out today, bro. I'm good. All right, go ahead. We're done talking shit. We're assholes. Sorry.
Now we're back to the smart contracts, which I did promise we'd get back to, and here we are, delivering on my promise. The smart contract is part of the Ethereum platform that allows the users to essentially make executable agreements that remove the need for that third party. It's agreements that can be executed. Like, let's say I was buying from a distributor who's not Amazon, but it's a bunch of crickets. But
in your back, in your shirt.
No, I hear crickets.
You're like digging the back of your neck, like it's a bunch of crickets.
Well, I got my AC off, so I'm kind of hot.
All right.
Okay, so let's say that I was buying an item from an online distributor, but I didn't trust them necessarily, and I said that basically I'm not going to pay you until you deliver that to my doorstep. And so essentially they would put a tracking number on it, and the funds would not be sent to the distributor or the seller of your product until the tracking number said, okay, this is at his doorstep. And so that could make easy. Actually, a better example would be eBay or something.
That's what I say. That's just eBay, right?
Yeah, except you're cutting out the middleman. Now you don't have that huge fee that they charge you. It's like fucking 10% or something.
You're just making an individual contract with somebody, even if they're a business.
Exactly, and so it allows that peer-to-peer transaction, and that gets into the Ethereum applications and what will it be used for. And the things that it will be used for at first is decentralizing existing services, just like I was accidentally made an example with eBay. It'll replace things like
I was thinking that anyway.
Like social networks. It'll replace email, just like that was an example. It'll replace Uber. It'll replace Airbnb. It has the potential to. I'm not saying that it will. And so there's one example.
Why? Wait. Like why though? Why would it replace something like Uber? Or I guess you would just go straight up to somebody else and.
Because Uber right now is a middleman between two.
Yeah, but don't you need the middleman to connect those two people?
No,
but there has to be
some. That's the smart contracts. That's what the smart contracts allow you to do.
Yeah, but
how do you find them?
Then just need like a Craigslist then.
So I guess something like that, where you have to search.
I'm willing to drive you around for X amount of money, and then
right, that would be the decentralized application.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that it's not regulated in any way.
Like how could you effectively search through a decentralized network to find all right, I'm going to get into the decentralized network to use the replacement for Uber. or
Yeah.
all of that?
It would literally work the same way that Uber does. It would use your GPS location on your phone.
Yeah, but wouldn't you need a third party to navigate that?
Would there be an app or something, right?
Yeah, the app works independent. It doesn't need anybody
But who's making the app?
overlooking it. Exactly. That becomes that person's nest egg, essentially. They develop this app. So the Vitalik Buterin, the guy I was talking about, the Russian-Canadian, he talked about the way that he sees, what he hopes is that organizations will be built that are completely autonomous and they have no oversight. Essentially, it's just entire companies that are literally run as computer programs.
That sounds scary.
That sounds scary, right? I think it sounds scary too. But
Yeah, it's a little freaky, bro.
I mean, because they're like, you have all these organizations that exist and they do shit, but no one really understands how they do this shit.
Yeah, right now they're not deep mind AI created. They are programmed, and anyone would be able to see these contracts.
But like, it's still like okay, so I'm getting all that, but I'm so like, it still seems like there is going to be some type of third party involvement.
There has to be something to like a conglomerate.
Like,
It would be more convenient, right?
Like, even if the third party isn't like,
If you had an app and it said this is like a forum for this thing, this is a forum for car things, and that would just be the Uber app. And I'm jerking off the table right now. That would be the Uber app, and nobody can see that.
yeah,
But
or even if it was more like a Google, like, and you could like, essentially, like, I'm looking to get a fucking Uber lift or a ride.
yeah, like they're all
Like,
the middleman
it would
would
take you
be
to, like,
the app.
taxi drivers.
Right, but the point
Just
is
like-
that since you're no longer in hiring individuals that you can now
Okay, so the
everyone
people-
is running it though. It's not
Like-
a central point that anyone can shut off. Like Google has servers that we all access, and if they shut those servers down today, we can't do search.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't do that with this because everyone is running it. Same way that you pull your Game of Thrones from 100 different people. No central point.
Well,
So
the central
it's being-
point. No. The central point is Pirate Bay. Because that's where I go, and that's where they leave it. If there was no Pirate Bay, I would never fucking be able to get to that thing. I'd have to find it
but-
somewhere.
So that is a flaw in only the analogy. So the Pirate Bay would be hosted on everyone's phone in this case. It wouldn't be on a server.
Okay, but then so like, let's say it's all hosted on people's phones, or it's all hosted on people's computer, then that is reliable on the power grid.
Or that's reliable on just the sheer
Yes.
power of the processors on the phones, right? We have to have some beefier devices, I guess.
And then
Yeah,
if
you'd be
able to-
if the power comes,
I mean, I'm not saying that's not possible, but
yeah.
the power grid. What are you talking about? Some
Well, I mean,
Illuminati
like,
shit, bro? What are you talking about? Fucking power grid, bro?
I mean,
you don't bring up the power grid unless you're going full retard, dude.
If it's all going to be reliable on like self-sustainability, and everyone's like, and the decentralized network is essentially feeding off everyone's computers and everyone's cell phones, and that's how you access it. There's still going to have to be like some kind of management involved in the distribution of all that.
Like if we lost the power grid, we're all fucked. Is that what you mean?
Kind of like, yeah.
Well, that's the case, anyways, right?
Well,
That's the case.
but more than like,
but it's right. It's a good point.
It's like that. Oh yeah, but it's like that. But it's centralized in the air right
But-
now. He's just talking about decentralizing it in the air still.
yeah, I guess I'm just more caught. Like, I see like technologically and theoretically like how it could work out, but I'm just more of like, I just don't see a way for like. It seems like that's like the elimination of corporations, and like I just don't see how that could happen.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, let's let him explain the thing before we get to
I'm not
the
even
fact
trying
that
to
the man's
I'm
gonna
not trying to
squash it
ruin
in
your
its
shit.
fucking
I'm not
baby
trying to ruin the
roots
shit. I just thought
before the big oil comes in and just fucking swings his dick right in fucking Ethereum's mouth. We know. All right, go ahead and finish. Sorry.
Okay, so I got a real quick example where Ethereum, IBM, and Samsung worked on a proof of concept with a washing machine. And what they did is they programmed this washing machine using the Ethereum blockchain to, when it threw an error on it, it knew it was broken, it would call a repairman itself. When it ran out of detergent, it would order from Amazon its new detergent. And it would analyze the smart grid to see when electricity was cheapest on the grid and wash your clothes at that time. And that was just a proof of concept, not something that's actually practical. That's to give you an idea of what could be done.
Okay.
yeah.
So the last thing I needed to do for this class was make a couple recommendations, and I'll just go here and lay them out. And it says my first recommendation is to understand the idea of blockchain, just the basic operating principles. It's just important in today's atmosphere as you think about new businesses and how to interact, how blockchain can either be applied to the business to just understand how it works. And then second, broaden the blockchain understanding beyond currency. So if nothing else you take away from this presentation, just understand that blockchain is so much more than just Bitcoin and a currency. It's an entire technology that allows us to do brand new things. And then lastly, just sort of more of the same, become familiar with the blockchain technology space such that, like, look at the top 5 cryptocurrencies on that coin market cap thing that I pulled up. Figure out, like, what problems are they trying to solve? Can they help me solve problems that I also have? And maybe you can get ahead and sort of becoming familiar with this space. And last, like, I'm probably not gonna, I'm not gonna say anything about that. Don't invest in it. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. All right, that's all. That was
Give us a legal disclaimer.
Yeah, you had to give a legal. Like, it's not good when you gotta be like, no, listen, I promise this. He's got the shirt on. I just realized that.
Dude, the next fucking 15 years is gonna be insane.
That was the
like
fucking
with
presentation.
this fucking cryptocurrency, and then all like
That
the
is-
advances in technology, like in the medical field, and then just in computer technology itself.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got a boner for that, like a
Yeah,
freedom
like,
boner for it,
sounds
because it
fucking
does
awesome.
seem
it sounds
great.
Like, it seems too fucking awesome.
Yeah, I got a freedom boner without a doubt.
Like-
all right, can you stop screen sharing there, Sters?
Like it's like George Washington is just like he has an erection.
George Washington is like, this is what it was all about. That's what I did that for. But yeah, it seems like it's the right thing, but like I said, the overarching thing is like, man, this is gonna get stamped out by somebody who's got a fucking vested interest in
Well,
something
I guess
shitty.
the only way, like with the way you were talking about, like how Samsung and that other company was doing like the proof of concepts, if like if it could be proved to be the most profitable for them, then I could see that
Exactly.
also. But I'm just still, the third party thing is still like what is now my mental block on the whole thing, because like it still seems like it's gonna like, it seems the easiest way to like not necessarily. I get that, like, you know, everyone can like just like, I get the money to money thing. I get that, but it's just more of like finding what you need.
Well, there's a reason that more people would pay money to have HBO Go than to fucking use BitTorrent to get their Game of Thrones every week.
Yeah.
And it's that the reason is convenience, ease. I mean, eventually they could get it to a point where it would be that easy, where you could just, you know, type shit in, and, you know, I guess, I don't know, maybe most people don't understand it, but
I guess for like most shit, it could be easy, like a repairman or like anything like that, anyone that you could just call up. But like if you needed like a service, like a taxi,
yeah.
or something like that.
Hang on, sorry, I'm distracted right now with this stream. I'm trying to get something fixed here. Beautiful. You weren't looking too good on the TV. I'm just gonna stick you on the TV, looking all nice.
Dude, look at that face.
How
It's
about
beautiful.
that? Look at that beautiful man right there, guys. Look at that beautiful man.
Look at him.
Justin's just looking up at him, admiring.
Look at him.
He's a goddamn Viking. He's a goddamn Viking. Anyways, yeah. All right. What about I don't know, dude. It's so hard to even, like I said, dude. It's so hard to physically grasp it. I think Mind Diamonds is maybe the best thing that I had to come up with, like that made me kind of understand it a little bit. Is that we're all just agreeing that you know, instead of like digging in the dirt and just picking up some shit that's shiny and saying that we're all agreeing that this is worth me, you know, getting some food or me getting whatever, we're all just saying that this thing in our brains basically, or I guess it has a physical, it's in a fucking computer, so that's physical to me. I mean, even though you're looking at it on a screen, so doesn't that make it physical in some sense? You can't touch it, but it's there. So, you know, we're just agreeing that this particular set of code, I guess, is worth, that's a diamond set of code. Dude, that code right there, bro, and all the other dirty code, that little string of code right there, bro, you found the Mind Diamond, bro. You found the Mind Diamond in the code. And now we're going to say that's worth some shit, but the concept of there being only 21,000, like I said, why would you choose that number?
21 million.
Million, sorry. Why 21 million? It seems like a weird...
Don't. I think that they worked out some. It worked out something. So basically, as people are mining, it's harder and harder to mine these things. So there's more and more hash power putting on it. And I'm guessing they worked out some. They worked backwards some number from 0 to that number and worked out some exponential curve that made it more difficult to get there. And I mean, you can tell it's pretty round numbers, so they kind of just picked it. But
there's got to be a certain amount of fucking mineral currency generated. What?
How I was thinking of like the old, like what you talked about with the mine diamond thing. It seemed like where they were talking about like with the smart contract and how like it's all determined on like the money's determined on like the action being completed.
Yeah.
It seemed like how I was thinking of it was like a like I say, if like you're like a shipping company and you're like shipping concrete somewhere, and the other company, and like you get it set up with the other company, like all right, so like for in each like code thing that you have in the smart contract, when the concrete reaches X destination, release the code for this, and then the miner will go and find the answer for that code, and then he turns in that code and it's like, all right, here's the code, give me my Bitcoin. All right, concrete gets to the next point, and or it gets delivered, and for like each point in like the contract, code is released, and then when the answer is found for that code, the miner gets to turn it in for that.
You just fucking confused the shit out of me halfway through that, dude.
I mean, I was following him a little bit. I think it's an okay analogy. Christian, are you trying to get at why does it have value, or what is your? I don't understand your actual question.
My question was, why was it 21,000?
Okay, so
million,
that
again.
I mean 21 million. God damn it! I'm saying
That's
1,000.
answered here.
Yeah.
So it's 6 blocks per hour, 24 hours per day, 365 times 4, down to 21 million.
Those contracts would make sense, because I guess if you were like in a village with somebody, you would, and you said you wanted to buy, some hay from them, and so you wouldn't just say, here's some gold, I trust you'll bring me some hay. You'd probably like follow him with the hay, or he'd bring the hay to you, and then you'd physically be able to see it there, and there'd be no question about the transaction.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at with like the all right, when the concrete reaches this amount of excavation, you don't have to trust that it's there. It's all right, here's the proof that it's reached there. All right, now this is the code. Go find it in go find the diamond key code in all the dirt. Once you find the diamond key, bring it back here. That's the solid. The
part that was confusing me is that they have to do work then to get, like, it should just be like you just get the diamond code already. Like, you don't have to go dig it out. I already dug it out. I got the diamond already.
That would be like a way
you
to
just get the
ensure
diamond
like
code.
the encryption. Like that would be the encryption side of it, kind of deal. To like just make sure.
To make sure you can't see it. Yeah, it would be encrypted. Yeah, and there would just be some short, simple process maybe that a computer would just instantaneously do. Yeah. It just sounds like it's complicated, but you're really talking about microseconds of a computer doing like a fucking equation, right?
Yeah.
For something like that.
Bitcoin's a little slower, but there's much faster ones.
For this theoretical transaction is what I'm talking about. For this futuristic transaction where literally it's a gigantic village and you can just be accountable for somebody that's in, fucking Lithuania. Even though you'll never see them physically, you can still be accountable for whatever this good transaction is, just as if they were there physically in person. It would be that accurate.
Yeah, I can show you I got something on my phone. Do you have your phone with you?
Mm-hmm. Can you bust it out?
Download an app called...
century.
Download your phone called Dash. D-A-S-H.
Dash?
Like Dash Wallet or something.
All right, this could take a second. What's going on here? What am I downloading? What do you got me downloading, bro? Geometry Dash, Diner Dash, Restaurant Dash, Cooking Dash,
Wallet,
Hotel Dash, Wedding
Wallet.
Dash, Geometry Dash, Subway Surfer, Sonic Dash, SpongeBob Diner Dash. Yelp. Why Yelp? Why Yelp?
All right, so Dash Wallet. That's what you want me to download?
Yeah, Dash Wallet. Yeah, fucking Justin's gonna get the cryptocurrency now.
Hash Engineering Solutions.
Hey. Oh, here it is. Crypto Pro. There's a lot of crypto apps in here.
No Dash received so far.
All right, so show me. You should be able to pull up like one of those chips. Put it up to the camera so that I can.
She had to get pretty close there.
You mean like one of those things you can scan?
Yeah.
It says new wallet, recover wallet. I'm on.
All right, here you go.
It's bringing it up.
This is what you want, right?
You gotta bring that mic with you. It should reach. No, no.
Is that what you want?
Can you see that?
Talking about, right?
Can you see it's like a barcode type deal?
All I can see is your face.
A little bit closer. Oh, well, yeah, we're showing it here on our screen. It looks like a barcode that you can see a series of letters and numbers.
I need that. I need that to send you the money.
Oh. Here. Let me see that
Little
real quick.
camera.
I gotta show them over here on this camera.
Focus. You're not focused. Back up a little. Back up a little bit more. Focus.
Focus. He's telling me to focus, man. The camera's sitting on a fucking thing, man. What do you mean to do? Focus, bro.
You're moving it all over the place.
I'm very shaky naturally, dude.
Dude, Christian.
Huh? I know, I can't do that. It's a joke I've done before.
Dude.
Yeah?
No, I can't get it. It's not gonna work.
This camera's really shitty, man. Sorry.
It's got like a glare off the phone.
I see it. Yeah, it's a glare.
Try and like turn down the volume.
Well,
Well,
all right. Well, we
just
squinched that part.
wasted
We squinched that part.
everyone's time. We
We just
squished
squinched that part.
so
Hey,
hard.
hey.
Hey, is he gonna try again? Wait, let me pull the app back up.
Let's try with the steady hand, yeah, because you know.
I turned down the light screen.
Oh. I got Murtaugh hands, dude, from Lethal Weapon 2.
Go up just a little bit.
Izzy 420, what's up, bro?
His hands are way steadier.
I told you, I have shaky hands, man. What the fuck? My hands always been shaky. I drink a lot of coffee and shit, man.
Now he's moving too much. I complimented his steady hands, and now he's.
Now he's moving it, dude. Now he's moving it. You know what? This is the worst
Yeah, this is
podcasting
true.
ever.
Yeah,
This is bad podcast, guys. Look at Justin's ass crack. Ah! Never mind. This just went to worst to best. We got a plumber crack right here, dude. A crack speckle crack, dude. His ass cracks out hardcore. Ah, banned. AC420 said banned. We got crack.
We're good.
We got
That's
crack.
it. You're moving too much. You're laughing too much.
Banned. Ah, shit, son.
Anyways,
Fucking banned, dude. All right.
that's not the best way to do that.
What were we even trying to do?
If I would have been able to not have a glare off the phone, I could have sent you cash instantly.
Well, we just missed out on
Well, goddamn
cash.
it.
Goddamn it, dude.
Yeah, but when
okay.
you actually
It's
see
okay.
it happen, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We need to find the Bitcoin Patreon, dude. Is what we need.
All you need to create a
Wait,
wallet.
what?
and
You can just
put your
you can
public
just
address
flat
up.
out request coins. Like you can just beg.
Just beg
Yeah.
coins. Can I just go places and beg for coins? Like, can I be an internet homeless guy?
Request.
That'd be it.
You wouldn't be the only one.
Where's the internet homeless?
they hang out at every Tweakers Cam, YouTube.
Holy shit! $1 is worth $300.
Dude, what's one Bitcoin worth? It's like a fucking $1 goddamn billion at this fucking point.
4,500 something.
We're talking about cryptocurrencies here. Is he fucking instead of like sending bitcoins and shit? Like
No,
I
we're
was just
sending-
talking about making like if there was like a third party fucking thing that let you just accept bitcoins as a subscription. Is what I was talking about.
Yeah, you can
Like
do that.
Patreon does for us.
Oh, I mean, like, it's not that easy. But you can just set up a public key. Like, if you just set up a wallet, and you can just put your public key anywhere, and anyone can send Bitcoin to your public key anytime they want.
Is that not like somebody can't just like
Now, to
bitcoins?
access it,
Izzy says
your
he's
private
got
key.
some bitcoins. What do you mean you got some
There you go.
bitcoins, bro? motherfucker, you got some of a Bitcoin, right? Isn't that? No, that's fucking crazy, dude. We don't have any. Sters is deep on the Bitcoins. Me and Justin don't know fucking dick about dick here.
Not shit.
Yeah, like
We know about buying drug with Bitcoin now because if you guys watch Grifters, you know Mike fucking he used to use Silk Road and you know, I guess it's no incriminating him. Fucking, it's not even a thing anymore. But yeah, he used to definitely fucking get like he's got DMT and fucking all kinds of shit off of there. Straight up like a quarter pound of blueberry Kush one time.
20 Bitcoins, right?
What's that?
Bitcoins?
Yeah, well, he spent a lot of he spent like a bunch of Bitcoins on it, and if like he would have saved those Bitcoins, he would have like a fucking like $25,000 or something right now, if you did the math.
Didn't he order a pizza with like 10 of them?
Huh?
Didn't he order a pizza with a couple of them?
I don't know. I don't think he ordered a pizza.
The first
Wasn't that like
Justin,
big? Like, didn't he have a bit with that? Like,
No, I had a bit where he was just buying drugs on Silk Road with it.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
not fucking pizza would
Well,
be fucking the
the-
worst, right? If you're like, oh, I spent like 2 Bitcoins on a pizza one time, bro. Some guy did. Some guy did.
No, someone spent the first Bitcoin transaction ever was 10,000 Bitcoins for one pizza.
that's what I'm thinking of. Word. Okay.
And then Christian, you made me work out like what an EP is
10,000?
in pizza. You were like, all I can think of is in pizzas, and then we went through all this math of like turning everything into pizzas. It was like,
Oh yeah, we did do
pizzas
pizza
to
math. We did some pizza math because I was like, I need to conceptualize this in pizzas, please. It was very Ninja Turtles-esque. Dude on screen is Sters. Is he? You talking about on the TV? On the fake TV screen I have going right here? If you look, I'll reveal my magic. Oh, it's really blurry. I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure out how to
Fake
fix
news,
that.
fake TV, fake news.
Your fake TV. I got you on high res coming through because it looks better. DMT. I have not tried DMT. Have you?
Sadly, not. I've done copious amounts of LSD though.
Sters, you? Only Mike. And only Mike. I don't think he said he did enough or something
Yeah, I
like
don't
that.
think he had. He didn't have the breakthrough.
Yeah, he didn't burst through, whatever the fuck they call it. Yeah, I haven't done really any psychedelics except for mushroom chocolates one time, and it was probably like a gram or a gram and a half, something. Wasn't much more than that.
Felt it more than saw it.
Ayahuasca
Fuck
does
no.
have DMT in it, I think. Yeah,
I mean, it has a bunch of shit in it.
isn't that? Yeah.
It's like a bunch of like crazy like.
Well,
plant
DMT's
shit,
in
and then like if
DMT's
you-
in all kinds of shit.
Yeah, but
So
like it's yeah,
that root-
definitely, it's probably definitely in there.
I
But
think.
like,
Wait, the
like,
root is
it's-
either the inhibitor that keeps it from, or the thing that like keeps your body from preventing it from doing anything. There's like you have to mix the root and you have to mix the something else. What is this? A leaf or some shit, or the ayahuasca itself, or what?
it's from what I understand of it, like it's all these, like the tribal people themselves will like just get all a bunch of these like different plants, shit, and like if you ask them like, hey, how the fuck did you find out that these plants do this?
Yeah.
They'll just tell you the plants told them.
Yeah.
It's it's shit like that.
Yeah.
And so like there's
Definitely heard that
like
too.
ayahuasca is like a blend. It's of a bunch of shit. Like if you take DMT, you're not gonna like go through the same trip as you would an ayahuasca trip, because an ayahuasca trip is a complete like cleanse.
Now what I've always said is my theory on this is that people just say that because they flew like 14 hours out to the jungle and they shit their pants and threw up all over themselves, and they had to explain it to their wives when they got home why they spent all that money to go do that. Like, yeah, I want to wear white linens and shit and barf all over them and then fucking cry for fucking 8 hours and then yeah, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna rationalize this somehow. Let's start figuring that out. No, you're good. Soul Thunder apologizes for getting off subject. It's okay, man. We're serious
dude,
bullshitting, dude. We're in the bullshit
We
part now.
got
It's
through the
okay.
main presentation.
Yeah, we didn't bother them that much.
Yeah.
We had to get through some dummy parts.
We're more blown away, but like, whoa, what?
Like how awesome it would be, because I mean anything that would be peer to peer is just better, because it's just more of a
Yeah.
community based thing in a virtual way.
Seems like it'd be really easy to shame people with it too. Like,
Well,
hey, everybody, don't go peer to peer with that guy. He doesn't pay up.
You know what I think, dude?
You get a bad rating.
I think what they did
Exactly,
was they just.
yeah.
I think what they did was they just developed the economy for when we just transition into the VR fucking realm of like. I mean, for real,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
It's not gonna happen, dude. If we make machines good enough, we're gonna have to compete with them somehow. So we'll have to manipulate ourselves in some way, or at least
Dude, I agree with that theory about why fucking no one sees why we haven't encountered aliens, because aliens just like fuck it, we can just build cyber worlds that are better, more intricate, and safer.
And safer, dude, because it's not organic. Because organic is not safe. That's the thing of it. Organic is it
has an expiration date.
Yeah, exactly. It's
die.
Finite.
Yeah.
I was gonna say infinite.
The opposite of finite.
But also, though, now my other thought about that is, sorry, I'm just blabbering on you here, Sters, but like, nothing's infinite. Nothing that we know of is really infinite. Everything's just like got a time limit on it eventually if you just let it go for long enough. So it's like, why would anything ever be infinite? So I also kind of think of like, I don't know, maybe that isn't a thing, but who knows? What if there's just fucking planets all around the world where people are just fucking jerking off into VR porn, dude, and they're just fucking sitting there chilling. Everybody's just 24/7 VR porn jerking off.
The universe
the whole world's
is expanding.
The universe
infinitely
is
as far as we know it.
Like as far like if you want to put like what we know as infinite, like that's gonna be the only thing that can like qualify that, and like numbers. Like I know that's not like a physical thing.
Fucking cat's shaking the camera.
Well, it's something that will well, I'm pretty sure this is right. Like there are more irrational numbers than there are actual numbers.
What does that mean though? Like, what's the significance of that?
It's just like one of those like what the fuck mind thought things.
Like there's more like decimals in between than there are whole numbers? Or?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well,
because
theoretically there'd have to be. Yeah.
Yeah, because like there's like more numbers in between like 1 and 2 or like that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's just a fucking math teacher.
It's like one of those like it's not like there's no actual physical representation.
Yeah, that's the algebra professor sticking his dick in your ear for a minute, rubbing it around real quick, and be like, I had to go fucking 8 years for this shit, and I'm still not getting my money's worth. So fucking here, kid, take this.
You guys ever heard the free lunch interpretation of the universe?
Oh,
I've heard that one before, but I've heard it like on a Rogan podcast. And
yeah,
so,
I think that they might have mentioned it on there. That might be where I heard it recently and looked it up.
Tell me about it.
Oh yeah, I think it was that last guy. Yeah. So the zero-sum universe is the hypothesis that the total amount of energy in the universe sums exactly to zero, and they have like some.
Yeah, it was that
kind of point to that.
It was that last physicist he had on.
The ass physicist. It was an ass physicist.
Most recent.
You just said ass physicist.
I said it was that last physicist.
That sounded like ass physicist. They're real bad.
Astrophysicist. He's an ass.
Dude, I had my ass on earlier.
We already had the ass physicist stop by for a minute. I'm surprised we didn't get banned. We're good though. Okay, so let me know. Yeah, what's the deal here?
So the basic idea was that all the mass in the universe is completely balanced by all the dark matter and actually gravity.
So that's like
gravity?
like anti-mass, I guess, right? Is that what they're trying to say? So it's like
positive,
negative balances out.
I don't fucking understand. I've listened to NDT talk about it about 1 million times. I have no idea what it is. But
yeah, it's one of those things that you got to be deep into it to really,
and even then, they don't fucking know.
No, I feel like they do have an idea, but they're
like they definitely have more of an idea. But like even then, like the more of an idea that they have still isn't the whole idea.
Yeah. But I mean, what I feel like is that my ability to conceptualize Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is far less. I'm less capable than some other human being is right now to interpret that, and so just some people are better at thinking in this completely abstract way, which is what that kind of theoretical physicist shit and fucking what cryptocurrency, it's all kind of in this kind of it's all in your head. It's all in your Asperger like fucking head thing. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking so I just can't
but
grasp it as easily.
To wrap up this free lunch interpretation.
Give us the free lunch.
There's a basic law of physics, right? Conservation of energy. Everything is conserved, right?
Yep.
So a lot of people sort of will say, well, how was the universe created? If it was created, then that would break that law. And so what this free lunch sort of proposes is if you have an exact amount of, say, mass that is exactly balanced by anti-mass, for create a universe that sums to zero, and it's the free lunch interpretation of the universe. So
what does the free lunch have to do with any of this? Free lunch is no such thing as a free lunch is the only thing I've ever heard of. So
Exactly.
they're saying that
you're
there is a
you're
free
not
lunch.
paying anything because you're creating something from nothing by taking exactly. Let's just do, if you have a negative one and a positive one, if you add them together, you have nothing.
Yeah.
So the total sum is 0.
Okay.
He cut out at the beginning. I feel like that's what he had.
What were you saying?
Like you cut out at like the very beginning of like when you started up again. Like you cut out and like when you were talking and like I couldn't hear him.
What was the first
So,
words you heard? Because I don't know at the beginning.
It was like it definitely like picked up at like the middle of your sentence kind of deal. But it
Essentially he's just saying that so if everything is nothing,
Everything
it's
was
just like
created from nothing,
we're
but
existing
it's
in this
something.
in between the nothing. What the fuck is that?
Right. So we're
That's that
not.
theoretical shit that it's like, man, what are you even trying to do this to me, bro?
I think the first thing I was saying that might have been cut out was about the conservation of energy.
yes.
Okay, yeah. So the conservation of energy is just a basic law of thermodynamics, physics that says you can't create anything from something. Mass is
Yeah.
transferred. E equals mc squared, right? Energy goes to mass. They're all connected.
So that would mean there's no such thing as a free lunch. You always got to pay for it with something.
You got to pay for it with something. So then how is the universe created to start with?
Okay, yeah,
Where does
you
the
got it,
universe
got it.
come from? Well, if you had exactly something that countered every other something, and if you were to put them all together, it went to nothing, then you are making something from nothing. And it's the free lunch interpretation of the universe.
That would mean that like dark energy is just like what does that mean? What if dark energy came in contact with something that was energy? Would it just cancel out and there's nothing there? What does that mean?
Isn't the theory that it would explode?
I don't know.
like if-
Dark energy is like the air of space.
Or is that just like I think that's just like sci-fi movies I've always seen.
What?
Like if you
Yeah.
dark matter and like the regular matter touches, everything explodes.
I'm just telling you, don't touch the dark matter with the matter. Jesus Christ. It creates super matter or some shit.
Matter squared.
Matter splatter. You're about to get matter splattered, bitch. All right.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just I don't know. That kind of blew my mind.
Dude, I gotta
There
piss.
is-
Can I just piss in this bottle? I don't want to miss
All
anything.
right. Yeah.
All right, Ari.
My fucking, yeah, no Ari Shafir shit in here, dude. I'll be pissing in the fucking bottles.
Yeah, so
I can't pay somebody to come clean this place. I'm not gonna make anybody clean up piss.
It's just one of those facts, that I can throw the nerd dab on anyone who's like, there's no such thing as a free lunch, but actually,
Actually, oh no.
the whole
dude.
universe
would you do
is
that?
a free lunch.
Would you? You would not be the guy that would do that, right? You would never
like
do
a-
that.
I just like.
Oh my god. Actually.
I coined the term nerd dab, and it's when you push
What's
up your
a nerd
glasses and
dab?
say, actually. See me?
Actually.
Actually. It's the nerd dab.
The nerd dab, and you hit him with some
dude.
real knowledge, dude.
You hit it with some really just some jerk dick ass knowledge with actually.
Some jerk dick ass knowledge.
Wish I had my glasses around here. They're not here
Sure.
though.
Yeah.
But you see people.
No, I
do it.
got
You
it.
see
I got the
people do
idea.
it.
I liked it. No, I
see
definitely know what
people
you're
like-
talking about. I went to college for 3
Actually-
years before I dropped out. I saw that plenty of times.
Well, actually.
Nerd dab. Actually.
Nerd dab. They're nerd dabbing on you, dude.
You get nerd dab. Actually. There is a such thing as a free lunch if you're not matter and antimatter, dark matter combined. Like, shut up. Nerd dab, dude. You know what the nerd dab is? Show him the nerd dab real quick, dude. You didn't see it. Show him the nerd dab, dude.
So the nerd dab is actually. You gotta have glasses.
You gotta have glasses on and you go.
Actually.
There is a such thing as a free lunch.
Get your fucking pin protector on.
Yeah, you need the pencil. You should have that same white shirt on from earlier, dude, and that really would have set that joke off, dude.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
my
if you would have gone
glasses.
top button too, top button, podcast casual or podcast formal.
Oh, top button up. That was button
Top
for
button
Jesus.
up. No, that's top button up for Jesus. Yeah, no pants is podcast formal.
Yeah, and I think that the top button we decided was like podcast perfect.
Podcast perfect?
Justin, do you know the Super Saiyan levels?
Very much so. Yes.
I don't really. What are the?
I don't.
I
There's,
know
like,
that there are
perfect
Super
form.
Saiyans.
Well,
Super Saiyan, that's-
you got your
that's
Super
beginning.
Saiyan, you got your Super Saiyan 1, you got your Super Saiyan 2, you got your Super Saiyan 3,
Really?
And then you go into like the weird like Perfect Saiyan forms and shit like that, where like because like up until like Super Saiyan 3, it just gets like more gold and like bigger hair, and then when he goes to like the next Super Saiyan, is like when he becomes like that monkey. Like half monkey, not the full monkey thing.
A different type.
Dude,
is this a different type of Saiyan?
Man, why do they turn into like super white guy? They have like blonde hair and blue eyes when they turn to Super Saiyan. So they're all super white, and then they turn into the apes.
Dude,
Which
here's
is
the
like,
whole
what
thing.
the fuck are y'all trying to talk? What are y'all trying to do here, bro?
I'm real worried about that.
Where's the Jew form? Hey, where's Jew form?
You go look at anime. All the characters white. They're either white or black.
Asian, I thought.
There's no.
But they were Asian.
All right, with the exception of non-existent races.
Nah, Piccolo's representing something.
But like, all right, there's like no actual Asian
Isn't
in
it like
most
a weird
anime.
black thing with like eyes and stuff and like a, you know what I'm talking about? It kind of looks like a panda or something.
What about that old guy? He's not Asian?
Well, I mean, like seriously, like if
All
you
their
just,
names
like,
are
go
Asian.
type in like anime characters, all of them are gonna be white. Like if you typed in anime characters in Google right now, it's all gonna.
What if I
pop
type
up.
in black anime characters?
Yeah, they don't they draw the eyes really wide. For some reason, they like the wide eyes.
But like more than that,
The
they're,
rounded
like,
eyes.
They're white. Like
Oh, I found a black girl, dude.
Yeah.
Got a black girl.
I thought they're either white or black.
Piccolo, I wasn't gonna say it myself, but definitely black, dude. That's hilarious. Thanks, Soul.
I mean, he has the do-rag.
Dude, hey, Justin, there's actually a list. It says, here are the 10 most likable
That's
and
funny.
least racist dark-skinned characters in anime. Number 1, Afro
Hey, share
Samurai.
screen. Share screen,
Doubt
bro.
it.
Share screen.
Afro Samurai. Doubt that's not racist.
Afro Samurai?
Yeah, no, it's other than the fact he has the afro. That
was
was
this
the
a
only
joke?
caricature. Have you never watched?
Then you got Miyuki Ayakawa, or Bash Squash, Basalts. And then you got Bleach.
Bath salts?
Basquash.
A squash. What the fuck is that?
Squash. I don't know. I'm not into this stuff. Berserk. This is Destin. This is what he needs to come on and tell us about the least racist dark-skinned
Dude,
characters in anime.
I'm not familiar with Casca, but I am
least
familiar
racist
with
is Afro
Berserk.
Samurai. I liked Afro Samurai. I thought it was pretty cool.
Afro Samurai was pretty cool. Hey, Samuel L. Jackson voiced him in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
For some reason, I like all that shit.
Yeah, no, I like
That
that.
fucking Black Panther style, fucking like, I don't know, something about it, like the attitude with it. I fucking love it, dude. It's inspiring shit. Fuck that.
Black Dynamite.
Yeah, that kind of shit, dude. I just like it.
You gotta
Shaft
grab a
style
beer.
shit.
You need another beer.
That's it, bro. It's the third beer. We both just drank the third beer. What are you talking about? Yeah, you need to make a coffee. You got a coffee, and I'll make a fucking coffee. This guy's like, oh, your ass crack's really hanging out now. The ass fan. Ass fan.
actually, but I gotta head on.
All right.
Gotta get to stepping.
You can head on, brother. Fuck Rick and Morty, dude. Anti-Rick and Morty Alliance. Justin likes Rick and Morty, but
yeah.
I'm on the Alliance.
Fuck
I
Rick
think-
and Morty.
Sterling's in the Anti-Rick and Morty Alliance. Soul of Thunder.
Hey, Rick and
so
Morty.
you can join Justin's faggy team because we're on the Anti-Alliance. All right, Sters. We'll
You guys sound like those faggots who are like, no, I'm not watching Game of Thrones. No, I'm too good for Game of
I
Thrones.
don't like Game of Thrones, bro. That's fucking dumb.
Everyone watches Game of Thrones, so I'm not gonna watch Game of Thrones.
It's stupid, bro. I don't like it. All right. Well, Sters.
Not watching something makes me a better person.
Well, Sterling, you out of here, brother?
Out of here.
All right, man. That was a good one. Appreciate it, and I do have a better grasp of everything now.
Yeah, that legitimately.
And I'm like excited for the future because that is it's like the basis of the currency for the virtual world, man.
Yeah, it definitely seems like we're definitely in like right now we're like in the fork in the road of like, is technology gonna be super amazing in the next 20 years, or is it gonna be really gonna fuck us over?
Yeah.
Like, is it gonna go like?
Yeah. I just don't see technology having any incentive to fuck us over.
Well,
I don't see it having
technology,
emotion,
definitely,
so I
like,
wouldn't
the
see it.
technology itself, like the people who are inventing the technology, like who are just like, no, I'm just doing this just to invent, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's the people who are
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
take the
gotcha,
technology
gotcha,
and
gotcha.
fuck it.
Yeah.
Like without a doubt, the technology
Like that
itself is
audio,
awesome.
audio editing software
The
and
audio,
shit. Yeah,
Photoshop,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I see what you're talking
But like I said, I think the blockchain is a solution to that.
I mean,
That
yeah,
is the solution because
yeah.
you could trace the picture back.
I mean,
Make
yeah, if you
sure
could
it's
eliminate
legit.
bankers, that would be awesome. Because I mean,
And
it's,
if you
just,
could
it's a
just-
stupid job.
If there's any way to just like gas them,
It's a stupid fucking job.
That's a real dumb job. Hey, I'm gonna watch your money.
You know this thing we have that
I'm gonna watch your money and you pay me. I'm gonna be here. I'll be here, bro. There's like some guy who's just sitting there all day. I'm watching money. That's all I did. That's the first banker. He just sat around and watched people's money all day.
How'd you get all this money? Oh, people gave me their
He's
money
just the
to
biggest
watch.
dude in town. They're like, yeah, he just holds all the money. Nobody's going to fuck with him, man. Nobody's trying him. He's fucking beat your ass, dude.
The inventor of the banks was actually Larry Bank.
Yeah, it's Larry Bank, dude. All right, Sters. Well, we're gonna bullshit for half a second here, and then, and yeah, we'll fucking holler at you, buddy.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. There we go. That was nice.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
I really am pretty excited about that shit. All right, so what do we have? We have a couple things we want to just fucking discuss here. We might have a potential show coming up where we'll do news. Everybody's gonna regret this, is what I'm gonna call it, or we're all gonna regret this, is what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah.
Because that's just how I feel. Anytime you look at the news, man. Anytime you do that, if you have an iPhone, you guys know. Anytime you do that swipe to the right, when you bring up the home button on your phone, dude, you swipe over one to the right, and it's just 4 news articles right there. Let's see what we got right now, just to prove a point here. This could be the big one again. Irma hurls toward Florida. Super negative. Facebook says it sold ads to Russian troll farm during 2016 campaign, which we'll talk about in a minute. Makes you be like, ugh! How the strongest solar flare in a decade is affecting Earth. Oh my God. Trump. Ivanka asked, Daddy, can I come with you? That is the headline. All right. Look at this.
What is that last one? What?
Trump, Ivanka asked, Daddy, can I come with you? That is...
What is the fuck? Like, so he said that. He said that his daughter said, Daddy, can I come with you?
Look at that last one.
Yeah, I'm clicking the link.
Go ahead and click the link here and let it read up on it for 1 second. I'm going to talk to Soul real quick. So, comedy night, dude. I looked up the game. It looked tight, dude. Look at an awesome concept, but they said there was a lot of fucking just dumbass kids in there and shit and fucking trolls, basically. I didn't know if it was like, I don't know. I guess I have no reason to know. It's only $5 but it just seemed like it was fucking... I don't know, man. When you do comedy in front of people all the time, you're like fucking... And doing it in front of a bunch of fucking 12-year-old assholes yelling fucking nigger and Hitler constantly, it's kind of, it's not really the ideal situation. Somebody yells that shit in an actual comedy club, they get knocked the fuck out by somebody else in the actual comedy club, so...
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck. This article's just stupid. He, like, just brought her up on stage.
Daddy, can I come with
You're
you?
just like, oh, yeah, it's... I don't understand that. But
What the fuck, dude? Man, that whole thing... It's just they had to put one Trump thing in here. It's the whole point. They had to put one
why
thing.
he said it. I don't understand
It
why
could
it's
be
a news
meaningless. They just
article.
have to put one thing each time.
Yeah.
But all right, so let's talk about the Zuckerberg shit, dude. Zuckerberg, all right,
Soviet Zuckerberg.
Facebook admits that it sold ads to Russian troll farm during 2016 campaign. Now, what's a troll farm?
I mean, there's no way like
Look
they're
this up.
actually trolls, because trolls don't exist like for a purpose other than pure chaos. And this farm clearly had a purpose.
Yeah, I mean, definition of troll farm. Here we go. Let's see. An organization whose employees or members attempt to create conflict and disruption in an online community by posting deliberately inflammatory or provocative comments.
This is just
So they were just blowing up different Facebook shit with just
yeah, I guess
offensive
like
stuff and just
Trump
fucking
shit. I guess what they were buying, like ads and
anti-Hillary
shit.
shit, maybe. Yeah, maybe buying ads or something. I don't know. It's like I should really look this
But
up.
I guess,
just
like,
kinda
what-
fucking talk shit about it. What? That did get old, so that was like that. So, I mean, what was your experience in it, really quick? He's talking about the comedy night game, which is this
Yeah,
this
I remember
Steam
you
game
talking to me about.
where you can fucking, do a set basically in front of a bunch of people, and I guess it attenuates the volume of them to you or something like that. But you just basically perform for a crowd of people in a fucking virtual form. So what was your experience with it, dude, really quick, if you don't mind typing it into us? Because he said it got old, which I guess he was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like
going dumb
online
shit.
community is like one of the main problems you have to deal with all the time is toxicity. I mean,
Yeah.
so like in comedy itself is already a toxic environment, and with like the crowds you draw
Yeah.
are gonna be
Potentially.
toxic. And I think like the type of person, like I would have to wonder like at the type of person who like buys this comedy game to watch, to like to go in and like watch other comedians go on there.
That is very true. because you're like, oh, I'm gonna get in there and fuck with somebody.
Yeah,
it's like the
there's
main.
no,
thought, right?
I can't think
I
of
didn't
any
think about
other
that.
reason like why you would want to be an audience.
I didn't
member.
think about that because as a comedian, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do that. Of course, I want to go do that because then I can fucking just get some free stage time or something, anything for a fucking starving little bitch trying to fucking make it in comedy. Yeah, but the type of dude who's just gonna go there just to watch is gonna be a very small amount of good people.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a very small amount of good people.
And even then, like, one of the things I hate the most like the person I hate performing in front of whenever I'm doing comedy, other comedians.
Yeah.
And so like if I'm just buying this to do it in front of other comedians, I'm not jerking off anymore. I've just gone into a circle jerk.
Yeah, you're in a circle jerk.
Yeah.
You're all jerking each other off, which is
I mean, comedians are the same way in real life. They're gonna compliment you if you compliment them, and you're not gonna get any genuine feedback.
yeah. All right, so Soul says it was about the racism. He got niggered off stage a couple times. That's hilarious. Niggered off stage. That's a fucking new thing now, dude.
That's a verb.
That hasn't been a thing for fucking, I don't know. Has that ever been a thing, dude? Getting niggered off stage?
Without a doubt. I mean,
It's only white people on white. It's white on white. You get niggered off stage or something most of the time. Like, I don't even think they would, I don't know. If Soul's black, then maybe they would fucking just being blatantly racist too. But I feel like a lot of that internet racism is just to be inflammatory as fuck. And people are just using the one word that they know is going to cause the most damage, which is why we need to have words have zero power so that dumb fucking kids like that don't have a word that they can just use to stir up the pot, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if nobody really fucking... I understand that it's impossible for especially people who are fucking... You know, around in 70s, 60s, 50s, any time before that, dude. Like, I get it that word's gonna come with a fucking price, dude. But moving into this next day and age with the kids we have now, the young people we have now, dude, the people that I grew up with and shit, man, there's just no room for having these words have some type of fucking charge to them to where, like, I can say something to you and it's gonna throw your day off, dude. One word to you and it'll fuck your whole day up. Like,
why as, like, a person would you want to have, like, let it be known that there's one word that can offend you drastically?
Exactly. Then
Like,
you put out the word that is
shit, like, to you, like,
Yeah.
I'm keeping the shit
the most
that's gonna
insecure
hurt
thing.
me
Yeah.
to me.
Well, that's the thing though, is it's like because it's automatically assigned to you if you're born black. It
Yeah.
seems like therefore, I don't know, man. It seems like that would be a point of an existential
Without a
crisis
doubt.
that every young black man would have to go through.
I mean, without a doubt, there's
that's
like no
fucking-
way.
that's tough.
There's no way I could understand what that. Like, I guess I could try and understand it, but there's no way I can, like.
You don't have to white your way out of it.
Dude, I
know it's always touchy for
I'm
white
throwing
people.
on
Dude.
that big white.
It's always real touchy. Like white people are always scared to talk about it, man. But it's like I don't know, dude.
I mean, it's very easy to, like, just get thrown under with it, and I
Yeah,
mean, like,
for sure.
once you're caught up in that machine, there's no way you're getting out of it.
Yeah, but you got to be a certain amount of fame. We're just a couple of fucking guys, dude. Everybody that I know knows I'm nothing but love. So it's like I don't give a shit, dude. I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say because it's never
I'm
born.
just talking about, you're talking about, like, with white people just generally white now in general. I mean, it's even, like, not here in South Carolina, but I mean, like, in social circles.
Yeah, well, dude,
like,
here especially, man. Just being in the South, we're also conditioned even more to, like, this whole racism atmosphere down here where it's like it's very fucking racially charged down here, dude.
Yeah.
Even like older white folks, they're both racist equally half the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, let's see. He said, "I'm old. I was around when people could say that shit to us, and we couldn't do shit. We can talk about it, but when one feels someone is trying to be hurtful, the tone changes. Yeah, of course. But that's with anything, man. It's like saying, it's like saying, go fuck yourself to you when you say something like you're busting my balls, or it's like saying go fuck yourself to you like I hate you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's totally different tone. Or I could just say, dude, I fucking hate you, man. And like right now, I could just said that to you. I said the words, and it didn't mean anything because I don't hate you. But it's like if I said I fucking hate you, you know what I mean? In a serious way, dude, and you knew it meant that, then it's a completely different thing. It's all in tone, but that's
it's also, like, coming from the person. Like,
yeah, but it's like it's resurging now. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people who are fighting this weird racial fight are making more of a racial divide for one because they're I don't know if it's the right thing to do or not to claim race at all, like to make that part of your identity. How do you feel about that? Because this is some shit like everybody's scared to talk about this shit. You can't hear it on Joe Rogan's podcast, so I'm going to talk about it right now because fucking Joe Rogan can't talk about it.
It's definitely weird to me that like I get, like, a person wanting to claim your racial identity, but at the same, because like you're claiming, you're like trying to make the historical connotations of your race a part of your identity, and you think that because of the good historical connotations based on your race, you try to take those and make them a part of your life, and you try and use that in your life. Mm-hmm. However, it's kind of like a blatant. It's kind of like the same problem with nationalism. When you have an intense feeling of nationalism or patriotism in general, you turn a blind eye to a bunch of shit.
Of course.
So it's kind of the same thing with race. Like,
well, I don't know if it's the same even with that, because it's a physical thing on your body.
No.
If you're black, you look at your skin and it's black, and you physically see yourself as different from white people, I guess, right? But my point is that, dude, a lot of times, like, I don't know, I'm just a fucking guy, I feel like, dude. You know what I mean? I don't have this connection that I feel like a lot of people are either introduced to as a child or they're taught as a kid that, you know, you need to have this be a part of you. You're a young black man. You need to be strong in today's day and age. Not in the day and age when it was legitimate fucking, honest to God, constant fucking horrific racism. But now it's like the way to defeat any modern racism is to forego having a racial identity and just being a person and expressing your just personality without it having to be like, I'm a black something, I'm a black guitarist, I'm a black this, I'm just a guitarist, I'm just a this.
The main problem
and just
with
not
that,
thinking of yourself even as a race. Is that the way to overcome?
The main problem with that is like how I would see it is like, you know, it's kind of like asking the person like, hey, forget everything and just become white is what like I feel like what they would take it as.
What do you mean?
Is like if you're telling someone like, just like leave behind your racial identity and don't bring that into your thing. You're essentially just saying, you know,
hold up.
It's essentially kind of trying to like let that person win, the other person win essentially. Like if you don't.
Hang on, we got some discussion in the chat. Hang on. All right, Soul says, on one side, you have groups of people who are now having their voice heard. Social media brought that. People are also sharing experiences and realizing that shit is bad all over. For sure, like with the, you know, fucking cops killing each other and shit. And these new voices are perceived as a threat to that order. I could see that. I've always been beige. Fucking wubs. There's wubbies. I fucking love it, dude. And the older folks perpetuated that notion of that type of social hierarchy. Burnt umber in the sunbird. This motherfucker, dude. Oh, man, he just said something real right there. Burnt umber. All right, listen. Hang on. Let me think back to what the fucking point was here. Do you guys, as people of fucking color, I guess, I don't know, man. I hate even saying that, dude. Because it's like if you come into the conversation with a team, and the team is either I'm on a white guy, so I have to pre-package everything I say as a white person to make sure that it doesn't offend anybody when I'm trying to be honest and I have nothing harmful inside of me. And then as a black person, you have to come in on a defensive, saying that you have to like prove something about yourself as a black person. So it automatically sets you up to have this prepackaged way of how you're coming into the conversation, and it's just two prepackaged notions of like if you got rid of those, you could have a more pure two minds interacting instead of a black mind and a white mind.
Yeah.
Like I'm on team red, I'm on team blue, but we can get together and talk for a little bit, but we're still on team white and team red and team blue. But it's like, man, why are we on teams? Why can't I be whatever fucking color I am? Maybe I'm fucking, you know, whatever the fuck it is, purple or something in the game. I feel like picturing Halo characters talking to each other right now. It's pretty goddamn simplistic in my actual mind. But yeah, I just feel like you're coming into it at a disadvantage there already. You're having to alter what you really feel or what you really want to express in some preconceived form of how you should be because you are that thing. About leaving your cultural identity at the door and just be white. Oh, yeah. Leave your cultural identity at the door and just be white. So that's like saying like you don't have any like Irish. It doesn't mean shit for you. You're just white. Is that what you mean by that?
I think what he's trying to say is the opposite.
He was just saying you had to say something real when you said that.
Oh, or yeah. I mean, that's what I would see is like on like I guess the minority black side, Asian
Mike.
side. Yeah,
talk into it. You're talking to me.
Yeah, like on the other side, like the black, the minority, the Asian, Mexican. Like when you're coming into the conversation, you're not wanting to leave. Like you feel like your racial identity is more of like your family and all that other kind of shit. And so the idea of like leaving that behind at the door to them, while we're like, they see it as us trying to just be white. Just come talk to us and be white.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
But to us, it's just like, no, we're just trying to have like an unbiased conversation on the subject matter, and like they see it because of the historical connotations.
Yeah.
While we see just me and you, they're seeing our great grandfathers and et cetera, and all that other kind of shit.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of that.
Which is why it's hilarious that we're two white guys talking about it right now. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you want us to do. We're trying to do the right thing here. But no, man. I think what you're saying, like, as far as like telling them to like, if to them it feels like just come to our level, basically. Yeah. My whole perspective on this is rooted in the experience that I had in that alt space VR game. And this sounds crazy, but it's really true, man. And you go in there, and everybody's just an avatar, and everybody's just, you know, whatever the fuck you decide to create, whatever color it is, it's like a weird abstract thing, or it's like some type of humanoid-looking thing. But it's like, I was talking to people from all around the world, dude. And, like, you know, some of us spoke, like, broken English, but I was just talking to people, and there was no, like, I didn't look at some guy and see anything. I had no preconceived notions. It was just me interacting with the mind on some other place, dude. And so you just have honest conversations with people up front, like, out of nowhere, and you just literally talking to people from all over the place. But unless you have some preconceived, you know, bias towards an accent or something, there's really nothing you can base any bias on. So you just talk to people honestly, man. And I was like, man, if we could somehow, like, mentally create that atmosphere in the physical world of just transcending an identity that's rooted in anything physical in our bodies and something that's rooted in our just consciousness in general, just a conscious identity. Just whatever is in your fucking head is what you project into the world. And this just happens to be the meat vehicle that I'm in. But it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't just... If we can all achieve that, even though it seems retarded.
I mean, yeah, it's like a battle of the consciousness kind of
exactly,
deal, like.
Exactly. And it would have to be like... over time, I don't know, man, maybe we could achieve that, but that I feel like that is the only solution to the whole infinite problem, it seems, of racialism, which is roots back to you know, fucking thousands, hundreds of thousands of years ago, man.
I mean, that's one of the things I also think of, like, in terms of, like, overcoming the hurdle. It's kind of like realizing that the racist system that got created would have happened no matter what. Just like white people coming out on top, like, that's honestly just geography.
Think that, dude? That's a bold statement, bro.
Look, this is like what it's gonna like.
You're trying to say white people aren't evil, bro? Hang on, wait, real quick. Before you go to white people aren't evil, hold that fucking thought. We got a lot of. I just want to get these other fucking perspectives in here. This is good.
Get them in here. Get them in.
All right. Most black folks in America have white relatives. Most white folks in America have black relatives too. I would imagine. At this point. Let's see here. I can be who I am, and the same with you, and we can still be cool. That seems to be a concept that's missed with most people. Yeah, most people just aren't thinking on that kind of, like, on that mind frame, dude. It's so easy to have an agenda, to have a what do you call it, man? An ideology to assign to something and then be a part of that thing and not have to figure out who the fuck you are as an individual. Just you, only you are like that, and you have to figure out what you're like and how you deal with yourself. And you don't get to, you know, prescribe to anybody else's thing that tells you what you are. It's only up to you, which is terrifying for.
That's definitely a part of the appeal of it. Is like, you know, instead of like having to figure out what you would do in the situation, you just have to figure out what would my team do in this situation.
Exactly.
And so that's what I can formulate all my stuff on.
Exactly. Instead of having to constantly only answer to your own self, dude, and only you have to deal with your own right and wrong, and what you have to, you know, you have to deal with your own consciousness, basically. All right, let's see here. I'm on the lighter side of black. Where did my folks come from? No one seems to want to claim the obvious. Many of us are family, horribly dysfunctional. Wub says, it's all in your head, Whitey. Oh, man. I get what he said. Wub says, fucking, you said it best when you said love. My man, meat vehicle is a very appropriate description. I mean, that's really what it is, though, right?
Yeah,
we are apropos. He said, he actually did not say apropos. He said apropos, which is fucking way smarter than apropos. I gotta give him credit for that, dude. I almost took you down a super big notch there, so my bad, bro. And then you have to lose some pounds to overcome the hurdle is what Wubbs just said. I don't know what he's talking about there, but I'm assuming we said something that had to do with that. I forget already. But But yeah, man, I just feel like it's a big struggle mentally to fucking figure yourself out, dude, and to deal with your own, with being accountable to only yourself. You know what I mean?
Like, people don't like to accept that, no, there are just shitty aspects of you, and like
Exactly,
that's something you have to
dude.
deal with and work on.
Exactly. You got to fucking figure that out, and it's not like you can't just attribute shit to whatever, fucking pre-packaged fucking thing, pre-packaged narrative you want to assign to your life because of something. It's just like, man, you're just accountable for all the things you've done, for every time you've said something wrong to somebody, every time you said something out of line. Dude, I've literally, like, all right, my best friend was black. My first best friend was black. I had a best friend that was black. I rapped with a black dude a lot, right? But I've said inappropriate things around black folks all the time, and I've been checked by it constantly. And it's like, man, I didn't know any better, but it's like you have to fucking be honest as an individual, and like they knew as a fucking friend. It's just like if we all just treated each other, I guess, as friends, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, they knew you didn't like mean any ill intent.
It was like, no, just anytime you're saying things and you're trying to. You're speaking from a different perspective, dude.
Can you have an example of you being a racist sack of shit?
You have to get checked, just as in like, no, that's not exactly the perspective that you think. Even though you're trying to empathize and put yourself in other people's shoes, you're not exactly accurate
you mean
all
more
the time.
like assuming what they think
Exactly.
instead of like you saying something and them checking you
Exactly.
on.
Not like I said something racist or something like that. No, I'm saying like I said something that was like I was trying to speak on behalf of them improperly.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to ever do that. That's what I mean. I just the fact that was able to be done, it was very like, oh, I don't really think it's like that, and then it's like bam bam, then we're just continuing on as individuals, and we melt down the whole black white thing between us as two people. As that friendship, you melt the black and white thing down. It's no longer there anymore. You're just two boys chilling, and you just do what you do, man. And fucking he puts different shit in his hair than you do. That's pretty much what it is. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you don't know the person well enough, I guess there's like this instinct, and do you think it's biological? Do you think there's an instinctive, like, this person could potentially give disease because we're two different
pathogen? You're talking pathogens,
like you'd be so far away because black folks are going to be in one area, white folks are going to be in one completely different area of the world, is what I'm saying. And so if you ran into a white person in a black area, they're going to be disease. It's the first thing that biologically you would think. And so I think what that person, I think was on Rogan recently, was talking about was that there's a disgust mechanism.
Weinstein.
There's a disgust mechanism. Yeah, there's a disgust mechanism that kicks in. That's like you're disgusted by that race because it's going to prevent you from getting whatever illness. Like it's what like the Indians. Yeah. Probably that's what they died from. I mean, that's the whole fucking point of it, I guess.
One of the things that's kind of like whenever you go like back far enough to like you're talking about like civilizations making first contact, when they make that first contact and they see another human being with like black skin or tan skin or white skin or what have you, they're not seeing another human being. They're seeing a completely different species of animal. Yeah. They think they just found like essentially like if they're having the same reaction if they just found like a tiger or something like that. But technically, they're like, oh, okay, this one's a bit smart. Yeah. But it's still just like a monkey.
I wonder if you're just like in some African village and just some Viking-ass fucking white dude just walks in with super long blonde hair and he's fucking huge, fucking ripped giant guy from fucking Norway. It's like, you'd probably be like, what the fuck is that, dude? Like, what the fuck? That's a threat.
In China, there was with the Silk Road, there would occasionally be African merchants who would hop on there and like make trade route. And make the route. And there is like a recorded tale of like a black merchant wandering into China and like people like freaking the fuck out. Like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And like the, I don't want to say like the emperor, but like the governor of the town essentially like dragged the dude in like the palace and like had his servants like scrub him down like and give him a bath. Because he was like, no, this is just dirt. Like there's no fucking way.
That's fucked.
Yeah. But like,
this is a true story, dude. Yeah. That sounds like somebody made that shit. We tried to scrub the black off his ass and it didn't work.
That's the level of like ignorance you're dealing with when you go back, and like you're and like with the next generation, you're still dealing with that level of ignorance. Even if you know a little bit more, you're still having to backpack that level of ignorance.
Yep.
And so it's just truggling on and on.
Hang on. It said, I have wild white friends too, but when it counted, them motherfuckers have had my back. How about the fat and light thing? Fat people and light people. How are we going to get along?
What, you're talking about like fat and white?
I think Whoops is fucking with us. He's just being a dick. He said ass tar earlier. I don't know what that meant either. Yeah, you can just tell. You can tell they weren't being hurtful, just shooting off at the mouth. Not even just shooting off at the mouth, dude. Just like trying to. It's like if I'm trying to say, like, man, I understand how you feel in any situation. I can understand to a certain degree, and it's my job to understand to a certain degree how you feel in order for me to treat you as a fucking human being. Yeah, so I can put myself in your shoes and feel how you feel, so I can experience that a little bit.
Yeah, empathy is an integral part of humanity.
Exactly. And it's like if I don't do it properly, that's what I mean. Just like it's like you don't really have that right, or maybe it's not exactly that bad, or even what it is. Like you're just out of line right there, dude. Maybe you shouldn't fucking speak on that. There's just plenty of shit. Like I said, it's difficult to talk about, but we should all fucking talk about it constantly, no matter what. We should all talk about it, and we should all tell each other when we feel uncomfortable about it, and that's fucking the way it should be, really. Yeah. Or else we're never going to fucking overcome that shit, dude. It's all based on our fucking little identity crisis, which is everybody's got one. Everybody wants to know who they are. And you latch onto something usually. Like I was a metalhead for a while, or I'm a fucking this for a while. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. And now I don't know what the fuck I am, dude. And I'm just gonna kind of stick around with that for a while, just being like a fucking anomaly of fucking little blob in my head, and just see where it fucking goes, and just keep expressing whatever the fuck I feel in my gut. Yeah. And it's like if you can convince other people to do that, I feel like we'd all get along better. Because I haven't met any person of any type that I've ever not gotten along with. You know what I mean? Like because of me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's never my fucking fault. It's either somebody's might be a fucking dick or whatever the fuck it is, or they just don't want to. I don't know. I've really never had bad experiences with people, dude. If you're just fucking nice and just chill and you're just being yourself and not fucking trying to be anything else, man, people just fucking don't. They really don't give you a problem most of the time, dude. It's my defense mechanism in life. It's like instead of working out and getting real ripped or anything like that, I just try to figure out how to like be super cool with everybody, bro. How can I just make sure everybody's cool with me? So yeah. All right, guys. Fucking. Whoops. Carry pawn the convo. Exactly, man. That's all it is. And that's what everybody should do. All right, fellas. We're going to fucking quit. We're going to shut our drunk mouths here and fucking shut this motherfucker down for a little bit. Yeah, appreciate you guys.
You want to hop on the forest tonight?
Yeah, we'll get on the forest a little bit later. You guys can go in there and watch us get chased around by some cannibals and shit.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, man. We'll holler at you guys later. Fucking love you. Deuces.
Have a good one, guys.